Hey guys, it's me, Pokemon, and I'm here to talk about some new characters we might see coming not only to DC Unchained, but to the entire DC universe as a whole. Now, this is really exciting. I guess this article was published on November 29th, but I got a commercial for it on a YouTube video. I didn't even know this existed until I saw the commercial, and I checked out this website. And the reason why they've started advertising it now is because it looks like a lot of these comic books are going to be coming out in like 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I don't read comic books. The whole comic book part, not that important to me. But this is really cool. So it's no secret that Marvel's been introducing a good amount of characters recently. And what I like about Marvel is when they introduce a new character, they push them kind of hard. Now, I know some of the comic book fans don't really like a lot of the Marvel characters because they aren't necessarily well written all the time, and then they're being pushed because, you know, Marvel's pushing them because they're a new character. And for comic book fans, I can understand the irritation with that, but for me, as someone who just plays their video games, follows the movies, I read comic books when I was younger, but I don't really read comic books nowadays. They're kind of a pain. I think they're short and kind of expensive, but that's irrelevant. Anyways, so like with American Chavez, who I understand is kind of hated amongst a decent amount of the Marvel comic book community, as far as I'm concerned, she's the teleporting punch girl. She's come into Marvel Future Fight, and she's cool because she teleports and she punches people. That's about as far as I learn with her. I might learn a little bit about her backstory, but I don't really read any of her comic books. And what's interesting about all these new characters that are coming out is this is one of the first times, at least in my lifetime, that I've seen DC push heroes this hard. I'm sure they've introduced characters in my lifetime in the DC universe, but they've never really pushed them that hard. I mean, I think Booster Gold and Blue Beetle might have come out within my lifetime, but they've never done what Marvel's done, like with Jane Foster. Like, once Jane Foster came out in the comic books, you see her in everything. She was in Monsters Unchained, was that what? Monsters Unleashed? She's been in Civil War 2, I believe, and she's been in all the video games. Like, they put her in everything. And we haven't seen that with any of the real new DC heroes. So this is what's super exciting about all this, is this is a whole new cast of characters. We've got Damage, who he's kind of like the Hulk. A lot of these characters, you can see similarities to Marvel, but a lot of people kind of get mad about that. But in the same respect, you know, it's not like they don't copy off each other. Marvel copied off of DC a little earlier on. DC might be copying a little off of Marvel here, but I don't care because we don't have anything like this in the DC universe, really. We have Damage. He's kind of like Hulk. He's like this giant monster that like punches things, I guess, and he's called Damage because he can cause a lot of damage to his, like, around him, and he feels bad about that, so he tries to be careful. We got Silencers, kind of an assassin with guns. Sideways, who is kind of Spider-Man, but he teleports through like dimensional cracks. We got the Terrifics, and this is kind of cool because it brings back Plastic Man, one of my favorite characters. And then Phantom Girl, and I don't know if Phantom Girl's new, but we got Metamorpho, and then we got Mr. Terrific. And then we have the Immortal Men, which I guess these are like crime fighters who don't die. They've been fighting throughout all the time. We got the Challengers. I don't really know much about the Challengers. We got the Unexpected, which are kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, where they've all made mistakes, but they're coming together now to fight evil. And then we have the Curse of Brimstone, and this is similar to Ghost Rider in the fact that he's made a deal with like the devil, and then he gets caught on fire, and then he like fights crime. So sort of like Ghost Rider, but like DC Ghost Rider. And the reason why this is so important is because, assuming that DC wants to push this as hard as Marvel likes to push their new characters, you know, Marvel puts them in all their games. DC Unchained is coming out conveniently around a month or two within the release period of these comic books. So wouldn't it be nice if DC Unchained, to promote these brand new characters, put them in their game? I don't know, just an idea for 433. I mean, I just discovered this page because of the commercial. I mean, I think if they put it in their game, it would be a great way to push these new characters. And all of them seem to have pretty unique abilities, so they could add a nice spin onto the game. I mean, we don't have someone who can teleport through dimensions as far as I know in the DC universe. So really cool to see all this stuff. I'm just very excited because I just don't remember DC pushing characters as hard as they have. Like, I don't remember anything like this. So here's the trailer. I'm going to lower down the volume. So we see Damage, you kind of like Hulk. Silencer, it kind of reminds me of Gwenpool, sort of, but not really like Gwenpool, like a serious Gwenpool. We got like a sort of Spider-Man character. We got like kind of the Fantastic Four. So, you know, they're pretty cool. Then and look, isn't this cool? I thought this was so cool. We can see them standing next to like Aquaman, Superman, and just, it's so cool to see like characters you just know. And then there's like that random guy over there with them, and you're like, oh, that's Damage, he's a new character. And then we got this other video right here. So we can see again, same idea with a similar start. You know, blah blah blah. Green Lantern, Flash, move out of the way. We got new heroes in town now. Who, look at these. I think these are the Immortal Men I talked about. Yeah. And then we have the Challengers. So look at them. Aren't they kind of cool? Corcus of Brimstone, the kind of Ghost Rider-ish guy. And then we got, they're like kind of Guardians of the Galaxy, but not really Guardians of the Galaxy. So, just, oh, look at that. Isn't that so cool to see them with the old DC heroes? So I just wanted to report on this because I didn't know these characters existed until the commercial, and I figure, you know, Future Fight always releases things in coordinates with things that are happening elsewhere in the Marvel Universe, like comic books or movies. DC Unchained is not out yet, but I think it would be a wise decision for DC to call up 433 and say, hey, can we get like Damage, Silencer, and Sideways in your game? And then the 433 would be like, okay, cool. And then they put them in the game, and bam, everybody knows who Sideways is. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a 16-year-old. Signing off, guys.